Hi. I didn't really know where to start today, so I drew one of my cards, and it was this one. The storms aren't here to break us, they're here to make us. And I think it's a great reminder that, well, I know I tend to forget it when I'm in the storm, that it's for the first that first of all that the storm is temporary, and the other thing is that there is so much potential for growth in the storms and in the darkness. I know how much it has helped me, and it is also in being in the storms, being it was 1:23 when I said that, 1, 2, 3. But being in the storm, I'm confusing myself. Sorry. Being in the storms, being kind to ourselves in the sadness or anger, despair, allowing the emotions, even though a lot of us has been conditioned with happiness being kind of the only emotion that's okay. Like the positive aspect, they are okay to show, but all of our emotions are valuable, and well, they're supposed to be there. There isn't anything wrong with us when they're there. And I think I was scared because I just posted a video about, or 2 videos about snow where I was really happy, and then I got really sad, and I think I felt like I wasn't allowed to be both. That if I can be that happy, then the sadness isn't real, or if I'm that sad, then the happiness isn't okay. It's like I still struggle with being okay with this ebb and flow, with these ups and downs that are like in different ends of the spectrum. And I'm trying to share, even though there's a voice inside my head that's like, no, you can't share something that sad when you've just been that happy. Like that isn't okay. Like yeah, there's a big fear of being judged. People thinking that it isn't real, and I think it's because I don't think I'm allowed to be both. like one cancels out the other. There's this old story still in the back of my mind telling me that that is not okay, but it is when I embrace both parts and don't judge myself for feeling it that I allow myself to be myself. And when I'm accepting what is, I feel a lot better. And I'm trying to share it because I'm thinking if I feel stuff like that, the chance is that others are going through it as well. And if we don't talk about it, if we don't share it, we'll never find out that we're not alone. So I'm sharing it even when I get scared when I do it. I still get scared about a lot of things, but I don't think I'm afraid of doing it, even though I'm scared. It's a choice that I make to be courageous. And every time I post a video, I find out that it wasn't that scary, and actually the things that I have been the most scared to share, those are often the things that people tend to embrace and react most positive to. And I think that's saying something. And if I hadn't been through all the storms that I've been going through, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. And I think that would be a shame. And I think that maybe when I post things that are imperfect, others will get the courage to post things that's imperfect, and maybe we will see more parts of ourselves in others that we didn't think was worth to love. But when we see it in others and see that they are worth loving anyways, and maybe even more because of it, then maybe, just maybe, we'll be better at embracing those parts of ourselves. And yeah, I think that's my goal with all of this. Trying to embrace myself, trying to show others that it's okay to embrace yourself, even though you are imperfect. Because that's just part of life. And it's beautiful, not something that we have to hide. You are enough, exactly as you are. And remember that the storms aren't here to break us. They're here to make us. And I also think that it is the storms that make us have more empathy for one another. I know that I can relate to other people's struggles in a whole other way because I've been through it, where my perspective changed, where before I might have been a little more, I would say cold, but that sounds cold. But where I was judging others maybe for some of the things they were feeling because I couldn't embrace those feelings in myself. For a long time in my life, I judged others for crying outside, in crying in public. Like, why didn't they just keep it inside? Cried alone. I thought it was weak, and it was probably because I didn't allow myself to do it, to cry in front of others. Well, I'm thinking of my grandma's funeral, where I cried, and I on top of the grief, I felt so much shame that others were seeing me cry. At the reception afterwards, I did everything not to cry, and when it became too much, I went out to the bathroom and cried, and then came back with a mask on and judged my grandpa and my dad for not keeping it together, when the judgment probably came from me just wanting to be able to do that and not be judged by others. And in that case, I don't think anyone would have judged me. It was just me judging me, because I felt like crying wasn't okay. It wasn't okay to show. It was something that needed to be hidden. And well, when I couldn't allow myself to cry even at a funeral, just imagine how much shame I felt when I cried about smaller stuff, or when I didn't know why I was crying, when I just felt like everything was hard. And I think I'm sharing this because I think I needed to hear back then that it was okay to cry. Now I cry daily, but I allow both the sadness and the joy and everything in between. Well, I try to. Sometimes it's easier than others. Yeah. I'm sharing because I hope that you can allow yourself to feel your emotions. Try to be there for yourself. Be kind. Be the person that you wish had been there for you. Be that person for yourself. It's okay. Even when it's tough. And I know you're gonna make it through. You're doing great.